Hey, hello everybody, this is going to be a build video. In this video, I'm going to build the turboprop for Cap Air so that we have a little bit of a smaller vehicle to be doing passenger transport. See you in there. Alright, so I'm going to continue working on the turboprop here a little bit. Try to decide if I want to go with this lighting scheme here. Probably not. Let's just keep that basic for now. Let's keep that really basic. I don't want to screw with that too much. Let's put this in top. Yeah, I want this to be done. I want this to get in the series and kind of use it. So, we still have a lot of time setting these panels up. So I don't want to belabor that too much. I want to get after it and do a couple more of these. That's pretty good there. All right, so that'll give me my lights, my lighting system there. Let's fix whatever I broke down here now. Put a hole in here somewhere. Right behind the gear, right there. Okay. So we have our lighting in there now. It's just my regular dimmable red, white lights. Did I merge that or did it not merge? It merged. Okay. All right, so that's pretty good. My beacon. Symmetry off, symmetry's off. Let's do my navs. All right, so we're making pretty good progress here. Let's put this away. Underneath. So I have in the floor pan. Let me see if I can. There was another space that I had for this that I want to see if I can fit it in. Let's find it right. Will it fit there? Maybe. Right there's good. All right, so that's in. So that will give us lighting for the panel, our lighting panel there. So these right now don't have anything. Let's cut that out on. Do both sides here. Let's put oxygen. Cat's touching my mouse. I think if I want it like that or sideways, spray sideways. Oh, come on. Don't do the C2, ding dong. All right, so we'll do that for now. All right, so let's start getting this working here. Start doing some custom panels here. This is going to be the easiest way to do it. Frankensteining stuff from stuff you've already made can save some time. Sometimes it can just adds aggravation. So let's get some schemes in here. So first one's going to be engine controls. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, and that's going to be 8. All right, so that is going to be our main engine control systems there. So that goes there. And then, did I put it in the right place? I did. Okay, this is going to split off to both here and here. Actually, no, that's not. This is going to go like that. This is going to go like that. And this is going to come back here. All right, so that's going to loop through my 2 engines. All right, good. So, I have the numbers done, so let's get them hooked up to the engines. All right, so panel 1, that is going to be my cutoff. So my cutoff is, what's that, 7 for 1. 7 for 1. Okay. Starter is going to be 5 for 1. All right, prop pitch is going to have to come in here as well. So prop pitch is going to be, yeah, prop pitch will come in here too. All right, so that will come in through the panel here. So that will be, let's see, trying to think how to do this. 1 will be, so that will be 9 and 11. 9 and 11. And then that'll be an up-down counter. We'll start at reset value of 2. Or 0.2 rather. 0.2 to 1. 0.001. Okay, so that's our prop pitch. That will also go through there. All right, temperature is going to go. So I'm going to do a separate output for temps and stuff. That'll be fine. So panel, this needs to go through like so. And then we'll do temp as well. So what do we have? Temp, so we have 1, 2, 3, so 6, something like that. So that's the wrong one. Right number. So let's see, I want, what, 6? Let's try 6 to start with. All right, so temperature is going to be, so I need, let's see, I need a bunch of stuff here. So let's figure it out. So I need RPS to M. So let's do function X times 60. That's going to be RPM. I also need my throttle setting, which could be my power. All right. Trying to think. Okay. Let's see. 3.33. It's not going to really work for me, is it? Do we have RPM? That will work. 3.33. Okay, so that will be 1 will be power off 1. This will be prop, which will be 3. Need temp, which will be, let me check it. So this is going to go to these here. So that's going to be It's ITT. Let's do ITT. That's a gear panel. So let's not do it in here. Alright, so that won't be on there. Let's see, what else do I want? I'm trying to think if I wanted to do that off of gear panel. No, I don't think I can get the gear in on this small of a panel. Plus, I just want to yank the gear panel. I was just thinking how to set this up right. Alright, so that will give me that, those two numbers. I still need to put in the gear position. So I'm just doing the read off the gear position. So let's actually put the temp back in. And I just need the read off the gear position. So number input temp. Number input gear position. Okay. So temp will go in there. And then gear position will go in eventually. Because I just need to read it for the actual indicator. So that will work. All right, so let's update this. Let's grab this panel and just duplicate it over the other turbine. Oh, come on. Don't flick me around here. I hate the camera flicking me around lately. Or where is it? Where the hell is the panel for this? Are you right there? There you are. Okay, good. All right, so let's move this over here. All right, good. Let's go in. So you go to here. And then I need to reroute. So this will go from here to the gear panel to up here, and then this will then go to there. This will then come back. This will hit here. So we're up to, what are we up to? 8 on that. So that's fine. These can read out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. What's that? 4. Yep. That'll be 5. This will be 6. 6, and then, so this will start here. That will be 7. Nope, that's got to be 9. This is why I usually keep going on numbers. I'll keep going on the numbers. It'll make it easier. So 9, 10, 11, and this will be 12. All right, so that'll work. That'll get me all set up how I want to be set up. All right, so let's write some more stuff here. So this one, I took in gear position on this one, so. All right. So that will write in there. That will go across to the other side. Let's go ahead and fix the other side. All right. So right here, to turn on, it's going to be, what are we talking about? That's 8. Should be 6. Prop pitch should be 10 and 12. I didn't put in the top ones. I need to do that too. 10 and 12, so I'm screwing this up again. Okay, shocker. 10 and 12, okay. That's set up there. And this should shift one number. So that'd be 2, 4. That shifts all that. That's fine. Okay. I need to incorporate the top panel. I forgot about that. So So let's go, this will go there, from here to there to up to my prop panel. Prop panel comes down to here. Okay, then we need to readjust numbers. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, we're at 19, and then 20. That pretty much uses up all those numbers. Nice. All right, and so let's go to and fix these again. What are we talking here? What's this start with? 13? 13. So you'll start at 13. So 13, that's good. All right, so that should work on this side. So that's going to be 8, that's going to be 6, that's going to be 10 and 12. This should be 14. That should work there. I don't need gear position on this one. That one could go. All right, so that sets that up pretty good, I think. Yep. All right, so let's just go and we'll hook up the rest of this one back up. So RPS, throttle, read. So throttle, this can go. That's now controlled separately. I don't know why I still have that in there. Why do I still have that in there? Yeah, that can go. All right. Gear position's gonna come off of. I don't have gear position anymore. Crap. All right, I'll figure that out later. I forgot I took out the big one. What else does it need to go to? Clutch goes to clutch. Starter goes to starter, and that should set that up. Temp needs to come in. All right, so that pretty much sets that sucker up. Let's see if I can't start these engines here with the new setup. Yep. All right, so let's check what's up with throttle here. Because they were throttles before, so I have to change them. Okay, so this throttle needs to change. That's why. So up, down, counter. So what do we want? Let's do 2.5 to. Nope, let's do 0.001. All right, this can go. What's that? That is that times 30. Okay. All right, then I need to read a couple of these. Should be 1 and 3, I think. How's this? Oh, okay. That's this. So I can get rid of that. All right, let's check this one here. So this needs to go zing, zang. Let's see if we can get started this time. There we go. Spinning RPM. Power set. Nice. All right, so the next thing we're going to work on here is we need a seat combiner. So essentially, you're just going to make it so you can operate from either seat. What is this up here? Okay, let's turn this into that. FO. Captain. All right. All right, so we're going to combine our seats together. All right, so yeah, so that sets that up. All right, so that's that. So that is done. Let's make sure this is where we have to hook it up. But all right, so let's go captain's seat to here, FO seat to there. Let's go leave that for now. Let's go ahead and we want up, down. It's going to go to the engines actually, so I need that throttle value back that I took out. You know, I'd put it in there for a reason. Do a threshold of 1. What happened to this one? All right, so that's set up for throttle there. Let's grab this whole mess here. Put it on the other side. Where the heck did that just go? Right there. All right. Now we'll connect that. So roll will go, where are we at? Roll there. Pitch. Yaw. And up down doesn't go to the gyro. Up down just goes over here to these panels. All right. Give it a run. Oh, I have to configure the seats, right? So seats need to be configured for up down to be 100%. Down needs to be 100%. There we go. Start to. Yeah. That works. Why is so 2? I don't think I numbered 2 right. Props aren't connected. Okay. That'll do it. This here needs to go to there. That would be why that wasn't working. Okay. Oh, come on, stop flicking around camera. Prop pitch. And prop pitch. All right, let's go try to take this sucker off. Ah, get in there. Get in there, Johnny. The throttles definitely seem too slow of an interval. They're coming up, but they're coming up very slow. Okay. It's kind of the pain of having these two of them is you kind of have to adjust both of them. I think I still have the nose wheel backwards, I do. We'll do our first real takeoff. There's red lights. I have to hook up the other ones, but white off. I keep forgetting that my steering's backwards, so it's kind of screwing me up. My nose wheel steering is backwards. Do a quick pattern, see if I can't land this properly. Still don't have like the actual control systems hooked up. But that'll be when I put the autopilot in. That's all pre-configured in there, so. No clue what my speed is. All I have to do is turn those gauges on, but keep working. I want to get this done. I'd like to get this in the series here. Maybe take a little sharpness up that wingtip too. Let's not cut it in. I'm trying to cut in too much. Roll's a little on the stiff side. Lighten the roll up a little bit. Alright, let's turn in now. No clue what my speed is, but feels pretty good. Just gonna really crank the rudder in until I get it in there, just to expedite. I want to get back to working on this. There we go. Final. Dropping speed a little bit. Should have checked what max RPM is, but I can calculate it through the gear ratio, so just to set that gauge so it's not flickering it so much. It behaves really well. A little bit stiff on roll, that's kind of why I'm off center is. But it behaves itself, flies well. Alright, so let's get that back in there. Alright, so let's hook up, so is this all set? Okay, that's pretty good. Yep, so that will probably want to go out. Okay. That's good. Let's go ahead and let's get the electrical panel up and running here. So okay. All right, so we want composite input, elec, composite output, elec. All right, and let's go through the panel here. Let's set that up. All right, so it's this panel goes to this panel. I think that's it. That should be it. Okay, so let's grab it. So this is master power, ground power, battery, battery B, battery reads, battery A read, battery B read, Gen 1, which I need to put generators on as well, and Gen 2. Okay. Should be, was that the top one? That's the top. All right, so that's hooked up. All right. It's master power. It's ground power. That is going to be read the bats. Read the bats. Then what do I have? No. It's AB, then read bats. Yep, AB, then read bats. Okay. All right. Select the bats. And then this is going to be gens. All right. Let's get that lined up there. So that's 3, 4. This is 7 and 8. All right, so this will be does he need bat A and B? So I'm going to do this right this time so that I don't have the problem I have with the jet, which I'm going to fix with this system if it works right. So okay, bat A, B, ground power, GPR, Master power. And then this will read to the engine, so I don't need any more. Because the gens are just going to go to the engine reads. Okay, so that's good. Let's hook that up. So let's do a couple batteries here. All right. That's going to be bat A. Nope. Bat B, bat A. Okay. Okay. All right, that's bat A, B, ground power, master. I need two more. I've got them when I needed them. Let's see. Okay, so we have master power, ground power, bat A and B, bat A and B. That's gens. That will go to the actual, let's see. May I have some for that? No. Okay. Okay, that can go right from the electrical panel. All right, so I don't need that, so these can go. All right, that will go like that. That's good. All right, let's go ahead and start hooking these up. So, bat A, if I can find it. There, bat A right there. Bat B right there. Bat A and bat B go to, okay, we have ground power as well. Let's hook these all up too. Let's see. Master power is going to be, right, let's do master power there. Ground power is here. A and B. Okay. So master power, so these two go to master power, and ground power goes to master power. Ground power goes to through master power. Yes, ground power goes there. Okay. No, don't give me two. Just give me one, please. Thank you. Okay. And then this is your master. That goes everywhere. Okay, good. Master power comes to all this crap. Okay. All right. I'm going to get rid of this too. I'll leave it for now. Great. Okay, so that's set up. All right, let's hot bus everything while we're here. Doing electrical. So this is hot bus, goes to hot bus. What is this? That's gone away. Okay. Let's hook this up right quick here. Okay, that closes. Let's just check the door, make sure the door works. How did my paint get all screwed up? Okay, so this should work now. This door. Nope, not quite that far. I think it was 0.5 is what I wanted. Right, go a little bit further, but it's not bad. You usually step on the bottom step anyway. Step on in. Beautiful. Nice. All right, so that's done. All right, so we need to connect all the hot bus stuff. Do I put a door on this? I think I do. I think I want a cockpit door here, so. Kills that cell of this fuel here, though. What about if I do it here? That's fine. Okay, let's put it there. And so what do I want? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 across. Right, and then you get. Why won't you paint? Is your bucket still a copy? So let me fix this here. I'm not going to bother fixing that. That's just going to cause me more headaches. So those go hot bus. That should be it on that hot bus, I think, for now so far. So you hot buses go to... What do I want to hot bus off of? Let's hot bus off of battery B. All right, so that's kind of set up. Let's try to move this and put this away. All right, so that's in. The doors are hot bust. See what the hell's up with my paint here? Why did my paint get all screwed up? I don't know. Probably errant bucketing that I didn't anticipate. Symmetry, how about you come on? That would be great. Thanks. All right. So let's hook some electricity. Why not? All right, let's see. Engines or turbines. So we'll do gear. Gear goes through there. What is that? Hardpoint connector there. Let's see, there for gear. Gear's hooked. Turbines are hooked. So this will go to here. That's hooked. Gear can come across hooked gear. Then you can hook up here to gear. If I can see what the hell I'm working with here. What is this? What is this? What are you all about here? Okay. Just don't understand why it's. Oh, okay. That's the steering one here. So I have to actually fix this one here. I was confused with what this was here. So that's my steering, my nose wheel steering here. There we go. Those weren't merged together either, so that's good. Right, so this gear should be connected. All my gear are up. My engines are up. Turbines are up. Let's hook the turbine to the master. So as master on the turbine, gear needs to come up to the, what's that? Gear needs to come up to the master. Control surfaces. You do flaps at some point. And you need to come up to master there. Okay, good. You hook to the master as well. Lights. Lights, I want to fix this, so let me do something here. Cut you, move you back one. All right, so that's the wingtips fixed. Let's finish those lights that I was working on here. So, light up to beacon. Light up to. What happened to my lane of lights? Oh, they're there, right there. To taxi light. Those go on the hot bus. That's hot bust. Interior lights go hot bust. So this goes to you, to you, to the hot bus. Nope, that's not the hot bus, is it? Hot bus is B. Crap. Screwed up my other lights. The hot bus here. Where the hell did I just plug them? I gotta find that. Where that's regular. This is hot. What I thought was hot bus. So that's not going there. That's going to B battery. Not going there. All right. So lights are hooked. That's hooked. Engines are hooked. So pretty much cockpits left for electricity. Okay, cockpit goes to the master bus. All right, that's looking good electricity wise. So let's do shut off infinite electricity. Let's check our electrics. That needs to be colored. There we go. We got lights. Okay, good. Should be able to turn on all my. Okay, now those are coming on. None of my lights are on. Oh, I don't have a light. Actually, I don't have the actual light panel. All right, that's fine. Okay, parking brake release, bar props. All right. That's good. Getting the electrical stuff done. Let's go in the engines here. So these need a couple things. So this needs an in from the electrical panel. Electrical panels. All right. So from the electrical panels, where did that just pop into existence? Right here. Okay. Let's move this stack down a little. No, let's leave whatever. All right, so electrical panels. So I'm going to change the way that I was doing. So for the generators, PID. All right, so this is going to be what, 7? 7. So this will be, where the hell are you there, guy? 7. Okay, so 7 is going to turn the generator on. All right, I want a constant battery of 1. And I need to read my battery. All right, so this is where this is going to come in. So this is what I'm going to do differently here. So I come off my electrical panels. I need to read numbers for, what are we talking about? 5, 6, I think. Because what it was doing, it was reading both batteries, but it could never charge one. So this is going to flip-flop what it's charging. So that's, what is it, 5 and what would it be? 5 and 6. It's got to be 5 and 6. Yep. So that's battery A, battery B. Those are the reads. So. All right, and then for battery A and B is going to be 3, 4. Clicking the wrong thing again. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Is there an average function? I have to look, see if there's an average function. I don't know if I want to overcomplicate it this much. I think I do not. 5 is going to be this one. All right, so it just makes so that engine 1 charges battery A and engine 2 charges battery B. You could do this. Could do it really simply here. Let's do it this way. This will be simpler, I think. So. I think I want to set this up here. Yeah, screw it. I'm not going to go with this. I don't want to go all crazy on this. Let's just do that. I have to see if I have space for a generator clutch. That's the issue too. All right, let's see if I can where I can put a generator in here. I think I do have space. So. Yeah, right here. Ugh, don't have a lot of space in here. Clutch pieces are just enormous, so I just don't know why they make them so friggin' huge. That's the part of the issue I'm having here. Yeah, they're just making them huge, stuff big for no reason here, really. And it's quite frustrating. I just can't get that in there. See, I need... I'm pretty 100% sure I can't use a modular clutch. Let me double check here. Let me double check a modular clutch. I don't think I can use one. Let me just do this. Leave that like that for now. Do a little test here. Let's save this really quick. Let's see if I can stuff it in there. I don't think I can. The way I have it. No, it's not going to work that way. Let's leave it like this for now. Let's save this. I want to test something here. All right. Let's see. Don't think I can run. See, it doesn't have the right pipe shape. See? Yeah, it doesn't have the right shape. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is the clutches are huge, man. Everything's huge in game for no reason. Just don't get that. Why you make stuff that should be tiny huge? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Right. Does not make any sense to me why they make things big that don't need to be big. It just doesn't. Yeah. So let's make the left engine charge a battery A. Only if we connect it. Let's make this one in charge battery B, only if we connect it. Okay. Let's do that. I need to copy a bunch of crap over. I'm just going to move the whole panel again. So there's no generator clutch now. It's just run. So let me... So I should be able to get rid of a bunch of this crap. I don't need it. Generator clutch, I don't need. Electrical panels, I don't need. Okay. Yeah, so all that I don't need now. Alright, this hard run the generators. This one will be a little bit simpler than normal, so that's fine. I don't think it's going to rob too much power. It's running at 1 RPS essentially. Let's see what else I need to do here. So that's set up, that's set up, that's set up. Props are set up, I believe. Let me check. I don't think they are actually. Props are set up. Props are coming through here, but I also want to put them on the seat. So yeah, so props should be coming in. Where's props? Okay, yeah, so this is silly the way I have this set up. All right, I don't know why I did that the way I did, but I did. Okay, let's go. So up down here should be seats combined. That should go there, and then because this prop pitch needs to also be some other stuff too. All right, what's the left prop? So that's 1 and 3. That's got to be wrong now. Yeah. What are you up to? God damn it, that's tough. All right, what's that? That goes up to 8. You go up to 16. You go up to 28. That's this uses every number. I could get them back, but tight here for numbers on this one. Could get them back, but I'm not worried about it. We have just enough numbers. All right. All right, so this goes down. What? All right, so that goes in that engine. All right, so this one comes in, goes to here, goes to up to. That go up to props. That goes up to props. Props comes back down to here, which then goes to there and then out. Okay, it all works. It's just a little weird. That's 9, right? Just checking the numbers. Nope, 13. Yeah. What? Some screwed up. God damn it. 1 through 8. Okay. All right. So that's 1 through 4. It's through 8. Then it goes up here. So I screwed the numbers up here. So this is fine. This is 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, I had these right. I don't know what the hell I touched them for. 12. And then this starts at 13 and that runs out. Okay, that's fine. And then the seat needs to come in. So let's go ahead and fix the seat combiner. All right, so I need to write all these right numbers. 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that will give me the seat combined. All right, and then seats combined can now go to here. And I'll make one there when I get a second. All right, that fixes that. So now that will read that. And this will also read 911. That 911 is the panel, the prop pitch panel, and then I need to do need to read 4 and thresholds. I'm just going to copy. It's a pain in the ass to copy the panels over. It really is. What's 9? 9 is add. All right, let's go to the other side. All right, let's check. Make sure I actually connected this one. I didn't yet. So let's test it. All right, so master power's on. Let's go ahead. We got infinite electricity off? I do. Infinite fuel's off? It is. Okay. Let's go ahead and do battery AB. Gen 1 and 2 are on. So Gen 1 and 2 don't do anything anymore. So, interesting. I don't know what to do with that then. I could just do a extra gearbox. That's what I'll probably do, is have it flip a gearbox, and that will do essentially higher ratio. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do some tests. So up, down, left, right. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do? Props. So let's go props from the. I didn't connect the props from the seat, but that should be so. But it's I accidentally have them as up, down, so that's wrong. I need to fix that, but it's working. They're connected. Okay. All right. So prop should be 1, 2. Just need to fix that here. Nope. I will fix it here, but that's going to be, let's see, read 1. 2. Alright, so that fixes that, kind of. Alright. I have to fix it in the C combiner still, but let's get it kind of going. Alright, I'll put one through 6 in here. We need more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 30. I can never remember if it's 1 or 31. 31 or 32. Let me check it. So I want brakes as well. Brakes are going to be trigger, which is 31, 32. I can't see where the hell is it. Trigger's 31. Okay. It's always the opposite one, the one I'm thinking it is. Thought I counted them right. I just numbered them wrong. Okay. Is when I wish I'd just kind of taken the one I already had done. Did it, but whatever. It's good practice. Keep doing it again and again. Just get better and faster at it every time. Yeah, let's tile our seat buttons together because I'm going to need these, especially for the prop. That's pretty much all I'm putting on there, but I'm going to do them all anyways in case I want to add something. I don't have to do it later. And then that can go there, and then all of this can move, or this can move up. Let's move this up instead. Bingo. All right, and that's now set up. Okay, let's go. That's there, that's there. Let's test them. Okay, let's track prop pitch here. There we go. All right, that's good. Let's go for a little flight, I think. That'll be nice. All right. So master power is on. Bat A and B are on. Go ahead and nose wheel steering steers correctly now, which is helpful. Airspeed's alive. So I need faster thrust movement. Yeah, much faster thrust movement. This is backwards, I gotta fix that. Gotta put all those monitors in correctly. So there's 207 knots. Am I at full thrust? I am. 99% power, good. Go ahead and add a little prop. Just want it the other way around. I have it backwards, but I can fix that. Check what my electricity's doing here. So I'm making more than enough electricity, so what I can do is I can put a gearbox backwards on the generator, and that will down gear it. Can't do it. I don't have enough space for a clutch to disconnect it. So I think I'm taking a bunch of power off from the generators being there. So let's keep going on prop. That's nice. We get a good 150 economical cruise. get into the airport here. So once I plug the autopilot in, that will make it so that it does, my yaw while I roll to make it feel realistic. Put the gear in. I screwed all my prop up here. I'm trying to sync my props back up here. My props are a mess. There you go. So that's a max of about 1750 RPM on the props. I'm going to still play with that, get them more efficient. But Alright, so coming along nicely here. Reasonable, this is high-speed cruise right here, 210, say. The generators are taking too much power. You can see the generators are keeping us at a, our battery's at a full 1. I shouldn't need that much. How did I get out of my seat? I don't think I pressed the F key. Apparently I did. Alright. And so my thrust lever is definitely too slow in movement. Okay, why am I not decreasing my thrust here? Okay, thrust lever is not decreasing my thrust despite me pushing that. Okay, so let's call that in. So anyways, that's going to have to be increased, the thrust responsiveness. That's way slow. Let's fix it. So let's go throttle. Let's see, what are you at? 0.01. Okay, let's check this here. So 4 seats combined, 4. 1, -1, that's all correct. But it's this or 1. Increase it. If it's this or 3, we want to decrease it. That gives me a power read. Prop pitch, seats combined 1 and 2. These should be backwards. Okay. That should be like that. And I want to speed this up. Let's do 0.5, I think, on that. And then this is backwards again, so let's fix that. Okay. All right, let's check this, see if this flies all right now. Oh, generators. Let's work on the gens. So this generator is taking way too much energy off of my turbine. So let's go ahead and move the gen. Let's undo that. I should be able to do it like this. So let's take the two gearboxes, move them forward of the generator. Put that right there. That should work. Okay. Let's just do that. That makes it much simpler. All right. There we go. That should do. Now it's running without any upgearing to the generator. So see if that fixes the generation issue. This door feels huge now. I should cut it down to a two wide door. So there we're losing electricity. So we'll see if we gain some in a second. Much more responsive power now. Too much so. So the P value is too high on these now. So let's try just changing the P value. We also probably should decrease the number value on there, but test this first. Let's change this to something smaller. Just able to change the thrust setting so fast that it's killing it. I could put a floor on the bottom of that too, so it's not killing my engine. Should do that as well. I'll try it right now, like this. That's more reasonable ability for me to... Okay. So this needs to be, have a clamp on it. Where's clamp? Clamp. See if that works. It's completely shutting the fuel off to the turbine, so this will keep it so that it still keeps the turbine running. This makes it much more responsive for me. Yep. And I just need to dial the RPM in so that it has a minimum to max RPM value. Let's check our electricity. Alright, so we're not losing much battery. Once we get powered up and get out of there, we should be making electricity. Right. Should probably cut the throttle speed down a little bit. Let's try to come right back down and land here. Alright, we're going to come in, approach about 100 knots here. Nice and responsive now. Probably about half the throttle speed and we'll be good. Or the thrust speed. Like a little bit more top speed, but I'll have to play with that. We'll test top speed here in a second. Because I did decrease the amount of load the generator's taking. What are we at here? Okay, so yeah, we're still producing enough battery. We just need a thrust up here. Oh, nice. Behaving very well. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's just do a touch and go here. I'll put a nose wheel stabilization system. The jet needs it too, so. Alright, so there is max throttle. Let's go ahead and start bringing the prop back. I wanted like 230 would have been nice. Maybe 250. There's 220. So see, we have a lot more power now because the generator's not stealing so much. What I can do as well is, this is what I'll do is, I will put a 1-to-1 on the generator. Trying to think. I don't know, we'll figure something out with the generator. Like you see, we're producing more than enough electricity. We're doing a good speed now, so let's keep bringing the prop back a little bit. So there's 230, that's not bad. 231, 232. Yeah, so my gen was taken, so that was about top speed, 232 there. That's not bad, that's pretty good, damn good. You can see how fast we're moving. We're already over here. You know? No fast travel, ding dong. Let's go up to military base. See how long it takes us to get there, and then I'll read the fuel. Kind of give me some idea of how long that takes. But this is coming along really nicely. I'm enjoying this. It's gonna be nice to have another airliner in here that can do some of these shorter hops more efficiently. Like right now, we are okay. So let's put it in perspective. We have 2 turbines in this. In the jet, they max out at 60 RPS. In this, they max out at 30 RPS. So we burn half the fuel. We burn about probably half the fuel at greater than half the speed. And that's in our least efficient configuration. Let's go max efficiency now. So let's bring the props all the way back. So as we bring the props back, it's going to put, it's increasing the blade pitch, putting load on the engines, which cause them to slow down, which causes us to burn less fuel. So we are increasing our efficiency. We are cutting, maybe half the RPS off the turbines, but we're not cutting half the speed. You see, we're still doing about, we knocked off, what's that, 80 knots, and we, definitely didn't, so we're a lot more efficient. We went from 1700 RPM down to 475, so we cut off about 2/3 the fuel, and we only lost, 80 knots. So this is very efficient to be operating like this. And that is currently, so 4.5 miles, we're doing 2.5 miles a minute. So we'll only be there in a couple minutes, so. Nice. So I'm happy with this. This seems like this will be performing pretty well. Because I don't know what my, so I could figure this out. So it'd be whatever that is, 1/3 of that. I don't know, are we at 30%? I doubt we're at 30 RPS in the turbines. I have to check. You can't be. That's just reading my power percentage, how much power I'm giving it. It's not, it's actually reading the RPM. This is reading the RPM, but then I'd have to figure out the gear ratio, so. And I have no temp run. I do have an ITT there, I just need to multiply it out, so. Alright, there's military base coming into sight. Let's go take a landing at military base here. And we'll see how much fuel we burned. I could kind of extrapolate from full tanks to empty tanks and see how much fuel we burned on a trip up to military. This should be much more fuel efficient than the jet. Jet's still going to be the way to go to take large numbers of people to and from the Arctic. Like the shape. Shape's looking good. Color, the paint scheme looks good on it. Alright, so we want to go full prop. We want low pitch, high RPM. And I'm just going to bring the thrust back as we go. I don't want to gain speed. I just want to bring the prop up. So prop's all the way up. Okay. Prop should be all the way up now. I need to add some power. I'm stalling. See if I can save the stall. There we go. So I saved the stall, but there we go. Nice. Let's behaving well at 88 knots. There we go. No brakes on this, it's just slowing itself down. Might add thrust reverses at some point. Very nice. Alright, so let's quickly shut down. I'll check how much fuel I burned. Come over here. Oh, I can't get under there. I don't have the gauge on the side anymore. Alright, I don't have the gauge on there anymore. No, I don't want to fast travel. I want to take the vehicle that I'm clicking on and bring it back to workbench. Thank you very much. Alright, so let's paint that thing that's annoying to me. There is a paint spot right here that I need to paint gray, which is right. Where is it? Right there. Right there. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Are you painting or not, man? There we go. Okay. I'm probably going to want to paint that where it was. Whatever. Okay, so that's done. Let's go in here and I want to make the thrust up down counter on the throttle half of that. So let's do 0.5. Okay. So that's good. So we could down gear the generator more. That should give me more power to the engine and less waste. Let's do that. Let's cut you. Merge you against the wall there. Let's cut you. Gearbox. All right, so we want this to face away from the engine. All right, so that's facing away from the engine. I can down gear this. And so let's go to like a 3-to-1 down gear on that one. Did I get that there? I got 3-to-1 down gear on this one. Nice. Let's merge them up. That merged. That one's merged. Okay. And I didn't put a pipe on there. I need to pipe it. And so that should down gear that. And so what I could do is have the generator essentially take off that down gearing. The generator switches, and that will, that will help too. So let's see. Let's try this. Let's go. So it'll still always do some charging, but it will still do some charging, but it will, do very little charging. So if I do gen, okay, so I didn't come in electrical at all. Get rid of gen. Okay, update that. Let's go to electrical. Flipping around here. Okay. Number 1, gen. Number 2, gen. Okay. So number 1 and 2, gen are there. Output. Let's go over here. They are, what do we have here? 8, 7 and 8, I think. I think they're 7 and 8. Yeah, they're 7 and 8, I think. Yeah, 7 and 8. And so this will essentially I'll show you in a sec what I'm doing here. I have to flip the gear ratios backwards on the generators, but so that's 7 and 8, so that's right there. Okay, so let's go. I'll show you what I'm doing with this here. So we just did a test run, and we have more than enough electricity that will operate. Of course, I hooked the wrong one up. Because 'Cause I can't fit I just can't fit a clutch in there. I need one space to fit a clutch in there, and they're just huge, and I can't do it. So what I can do though is I can what I can do is I can essentially down gear them so it's as though none are there. And so if the ratio on is a 3-to-1 and this one is a 1-to-1, then I'm not multiplying my gears out at all, my ratios out, and then if I kick this on, that will give me more gen. I don't even think I need a 3-to-1. Let's go to like a 3-2 maybe. Make sure I'm clicking on the right thing here. 3-2, 1-1-3-2, 1-1-3-2. Let's try that. So we should see a differential in oh, no, I was right the first time. Was I? Yeah, I was right the first time. Yeah, I was right the first time. It should be 3. So this should be 3-1. It should be 1-to-1. And so essentially what's happening is when I'm not... So this is... Oh, God damn. I keep changing stuff that I don't mean to here. 3-2. Is that what I even wanted? What is... Okay. Let me save this here, and then I'll check it. I'll check the older one here. What's the gear ratio on this one here? 3-2, 3-1. 3-2, 3-1. Okay, 3-2, 3-1. Okay, good. Thank you. 3-2, 3-1. All right. All right. Oh God, damn it! If I can click the right one, I would be really thrilled. All right, 3-2, 3-1. 3-2, 3-1. Okay, good. 3-2. 3-2, 3-1. All right, this one here. So when the generator is off, I want this to be making as little electricity as possible. So it's actually going backwards there, and so it's reducing the load. It's reducing the rotation to the generator. So that's why I want 3-1 as standard and 1-to-1 when I flick it. That should work. So essentially, it's down gearing the generator, so it's making it spin less when I don't have the switch on. When I have the switch on, it's giving me more generation. So let's go master power. Let's go ahead and go bat A, B. The flip switches ruin a lot of my electrical setup because of this. You know, the flip switches always provide power, which you should have something that does that, but the issue being that hard to set up these electrical systems because I can't move my breakers properly. Alright, so let's look at our electrical generation. So as you see, we are losing electricity. If I kick on 1, still losing electricity, but we're that's because we're not really powered up. So let's go ahead and we'll see it in the air better when we spool up. Let me quickly do something dangerous here. There we go. The 3 wide door is goofy. I need a 2 wide door in there. Alright, so with these off, essentially what's happening is it's getting a 1-to-1 gear ratio off of the turbine. So if I'm doing 30 RPS, that's the generator is getting 30 RPS. If I flip it over, or if it's not on, it's essentially reducing it. So if I'm doing 30 RPS, it's only giving me 10 RPS to the generator. If I flip the switch on, it's now giving me all 30 RPS to the generator. And if I had a clutch, I could do it realistically, but I don't have a clutch. So, all right, so let's look at it. So you see we are producing. Are we at full thrust? Let's go to full thrust. So even at 1-to-1, we're producing enough battery. Or even at that 3-to-1 reduction, we're still producing enough battery to keep us topped off. So let's best way to show is let's go to our max. Let's just keep a static speed here. So let's keep 210. Trying to keep my pitch right so it doesn't reduce me here. All right, so there's 210. Trying to trim us so we don't keep screwing up our pitch here. There's a little bit of delay in this, so. All right, so about 210. Kick on 1. See, we dropped the knot. We're producing more electricity now. We only dropped the knot. All right, kick on the other one. Should be producing even more electricity now. As you can see, we're 100%. All right, and we can keep it on there like that. So I could actually reduce that more to get more power out of this. I'll think of something to do. Generally, you do a clutch and you would have the generator auto generate, but I have to figure it out. So let's go ahead and drag it in. Current issues I'm having is, so if we look at the way that generally the way I do generators is I take power off of the main drive shaft and I go ahead and I put a clutch, and then I have the clutch manipulated by PID, so it only generates as much electricity as you need. Now the issue is that there is no space for this. So if you see, pretty much the top of the turbine is the only space I have in here. I might bump this back. I probably will bump this back one spot. That will help. Because I can't use a clutch. So I'm doing a bunch of chicanery here. I'm taking, I'm reverse gearing it essentially to down gear it. And so when I'm at high RPS, I get, I can make plenty of power. When I'm not, I can't. So I think what I'm going to do here is change the, I'm not a huge fan of how the nacelle looks. So I want to move this section back. And then I think I can utilize that to actually charge better as well. So let's go ahead and let's grab some of this here. I think what I'll do is I'll actually delete it. That way it's just easier. And so again, you know, it kind of strikes that one of the issues I have with the game is they make the parts larger than they have to be. And so that's kind of makes trying to get realistic size stuff difficult, you know. I like some 1x1 clutches, stuff like that, you know, even if they put in a torque limit on it, you know, I'd prefer that. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the area here. And so here we have our main clutch. This is the main clutch for the engine. And so it comes up here and it clutches pretty much just so that on startup, it makes it so that the turbine can spool up without too much load on the props. And you actually see this with turboprops. Let me see if I can bring up a turboprop. You know, part of my degree in aeronautical science, we went over, you know, we had some coursework on turbines, and so I'm trying to see if I can find a. Let's do PT6. I know the PT6 is one of the most popular turbines they use on turboprops. So here's a PT6. You know, we looked over PT6s a little bit when we were when I was doing my degree. So let's look at the PT6 here. So essentially here, let me see if I can get it right. I'm trying to look at all the componentry here. Of course, this is a cutout version here. So you see they cut the turbine, put a clear, I don't know if that's data what it is, but a clear cover on it. Let's see if I can determine what's. So it looks like this is the front. You know, sometimes these are backwards anyways, so sometimes they'll actually take this is the rear. So this is actually backwards. I think the PT6 is run backwards. Let me see if I can find a picture of a PT6 installed. Oh, come on. If I could type right, that would be even better. Oh, come on. Pressing every wrong button there is. Try to see. Okay, so right here, if we look at oh, where were you? Just like right here. So see, there's a PT6 installed. So here's one on the King Air. So it's actually backwards. So you have the turbine facing backwards. Intake air comes in through here, I believe, and then ducts around. And then I'm trying to see if it has a cutout with the ducting. Here it is right here. But this engine is actually backwards. And so I'll find some more diagrams here. Of it. So essentially, let me bring up that first picture. So it's essentially backwards. So this is where the propeller connects, and one of the ways I can tell it's backwards is if I look at the compressor blades for the N2 section. You notice the blades are curved; they're going forward, so the air needs to come in here. So generally, you'd have an intake underneath here. How are they ducting it? I think they're ducting up through here, and then the blue zone here is cold air. Generally, they'll color this in these models based on, like, the red is the hot section, so that would be hot exhaust gas. Then you have medium temperatures in here. And so you have air coming in. It goes through the blue section here. That's intake air. So the air comes in and it curves around here. That's why the PT6 is backwards. And you have, these are your compressor blades. And so you have a long shaft that goes through. And so it's the turbine blades that actually turn the compressor blades. And so what you'll generally do is you'll either do an electric or an air start. And so if you're doing electric, this looks like an electric motor here. So it could either be, it could be in a starter generator. I can't recall, you know, it's been 20 years since I took this course, but so generally, you know, you'll have a starter generator, so it does both the function of starting and generating. And so you change polarity, and it can either start or it can generate electricity. So if it's turning the engine, it's starting it. If the engine's turning it, it's generating. And so you have a starter generator, looks like here. As you can see, it's geared, and the gear goes to the main shaft of the turbine. This will spin it up, and so what will happen is air will be drawn in, go into the compressor section. It goes through, as you see, the blades are getting greater in number and smaller. You notice it also has a constriction, so as the air slows down and you pack more air in, you increase pressure. And so as you notice, the diameter here, it's nice and wide here, and it gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and you get more and more and more blades. So it comes in here and it's compressed. Comes around. It looks like you have, this is one of your turbine stages, and these are your main turbine stages. And so often what will happen is you'll actually have these are on separate shafts, and it looks like this section here is connected to probably this shaft here. And so that allows your N2 stage to actually turn at different speeds. And so these compressor blades will actually turn at different speeds, and it makes sense. The larger blades will probably turn at a slower speed. Smaller blades will turn at a higher speed. And so you have your different compressor stages here, or your different turbine stages here, turning your different compressor stages. So as the air is compressed, it comes in to the combustion chamber and it's combusted. I'm trying to find the burner cans. It might be looping them up in here. Could be taking, I can't really see what's going on here, but it looks like it's taking it up. Trying to see if I can see fuel lines, but essentially you're bringing the compressed air in. I don't know if it's up in here, but you're bringing the compressed air in, so you have nice high pressure air. Fuel is injected. That fuel is then ignited. It expands. As it comes out, it passes along the turbine blades, spinning the turbine. These are turbine blades here. And it spins your turbine blades, which then moves the shaft to spin the compressor blades, and then it operates in essentially continuous function where the turbine blades are spun, which spins the compressor, which provides the compressed air for the combustion. As you come through here, you have your reduction gearbox. So your the shaft is now doing a bunch of reduction gears. Turbines have very low torque, but they have very high RPS. So by putting it through gearing, you're turning that rotational energy into torque energy, which can turn a big, large propeller. In a turbojet engine, a high bypass turbofan engine, you're utilizing this to essentially, they generally don't down gear, I don't think, much on a turbofan. They may a little bit. But you're using the shaft again to turn a big fan for turbofan engines. And then here's where your exhaust is, where your hot gases are exhausted. And on the PT6, if we look at like see right here, it's turning it around. So here again, it looks like here's your intake coming through. This is so I had, yeah, that was the combustion chamber. It was just funny, that picture, how to read it. And you see there's, it looks like, those look like injectors maybe. And that comes across your variable turbine blades, and then it comes out your exhaust. And then as you can see, it actually rotates the exhaust around, and the exhaust comes back and comes out. So that's where your exhaust comes out. So anyways, thought you guys might find that a little interesting. So essentially, so what I'm doing here is, and so part of how I got on that was, for starting, if you're trying to start the turbine and you have full clutch in there, it's trying to move a big propeller to get up to its starting RPS. So if you essentially set it up so that it has reduced clutch so that it allows some slipping on the prop, that's how it starts up realistically. They actually do this in real life, where you start the turbine and then it auto clutches and starts the propeller up. And that way you can actually get up to operational RP, essentially RPS. You're trying to get the compression up high enough that the engine can actually light off, is what you're really doing. All right, so let's go ahead and let's rebuild this section here. I'm just going to cut more out. I can see everything. So what I want to do is I want to re-engineer this engine, this turbine, so that I can actually do my normal power generation, because I'm having power generation issues because of this. So I need to kind of fix that. So let's go ahead and I'll figure this out in a second, what I want to do there. But all right, so we have the clutch here from the engine, and this is just going to essentially disconnect power during starting. That's this whole clutch's job right there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is, so I should have two gearboxes here. And let me grab them here. So there's two right there, and that is increasing the rotational speed on the propeller. So let's go ahead and let's cut this, and I'm going to put them here instead. Okay, so those go here now, and let's do them on the other side. And so I've been moving these around, trying to get them where I want them, trying to get this set up. So I'm going to have to just change the nacelle shape, the cover essentially, for the turbine to get this to work. So let's put that there. All right, so now what I can do, now with the larger area here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that. My power takeoff's the same here. Let's go ahead and get a pipe to the to fill this gap here before I forget, and then we don't have any power. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move the motor, and I'm going to move it back to, again, like I said, we have so much of the stuff just takes up more real estate than it should or has to. Like having a 2-wide clutch is just excessive to me. There's no real reason to. To have a 1-by clutch would be kind of helpful. And then I want to take another clutch here, and this clutch is going to, actually kind of liked it in black. This clutch here is going to be what meters the actual, so you have an accessory gearbox, and so you essentially take power off of the shaft. I closed the PT6 thing, but you take power off of the turbine, and then that will turn accessory gearbox, and then that gearbox can go to things like hydraulic pumps and to things like generators. And so we're running a generator here, and so what's going to happen is power is going to come up. This clutch is going to essentially apply once we get the turbine up and running, so it makes it so the propeller isn't spinning at full blast when you're trying to start your turbine, because we need to get up to what is it, 0.5 RPS. And then once that's up and running, the clutch applies, that starts spinning. And so right now, what do I have on here? I think I have a 6-to-1 gear ratio. 6-to-1 gear ratio. So this turns a 6-to-1 gear ratio, it goes to the propeller. Now, we don't always need to make electricity, and we're actually stealing electricity, or we're stealing power from our engine that we don't need. So see a lot of people do this where they just T-pipe generator, and that's fine. It's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but the issue becomes that when you're stealing your power from the you're stealing power off of your engine that could be going to the propeller to make you go faster, and you're giving it to a generator and you have 100% electricity already, all you're doing is wasting. So what this will allow me to do is this will allow me to utilize just as much as I need. So what will happen is the PID will control the clutch, and it will cause the clutch to be applied, or to either add or remove clutch, so that you're only producing as much electricity as you need, and that saves us a lot of power. And it gives us more power back to the engine, which gives us fuel efficiency and all sorts of other nice stuff like that. So that's why I retooled this, was so that we could have a clutch on that generator. I think this will actually look better too. So let's go ahead and grab you. No, not you. You. Thank you. And so this was part of the issue here, was putting this in here. Let's see if I can get it in there without misbehaving. See, this was the issue right here, is it looks like I can get it in there. Yep, so I had to move things around just to get the space to get that other clutch in, just because of the massive size of it. So long story short, we now are going to be able to PID control our generator, which should make it so that we're not stealing more power from our engine than we need to be taking. So we're only taking as much power as we need to produce electricity. And we'll also clean up the look of this a little bit. So multiple benefits doing it this way. And I'll walk through the generator with you. All right, let's repaint really quick. All right. So I like the look of this better. It's a little less wavy, a little weird, little less weird. Plus, we now can clutch control our generator to produce just as much electricity as we need. So, all right, so let's go in here to, let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's go through probably the electrical panel. Let's find the electrical panel. Because these are one thick wings, I can't really, I just saw it. I just saw it right there. Because it's one thick wings, I can't really hide as much in there as I'd like. See, this gives me issues. All right, so we have an issue here with space. Let's check the engines. All right, so I have some space here for the turboprop controller. Seats combined, panel. The issue is I would need 3, what do I need to do it? RPS, temp, yeah, see. That's giving me issues. Let's see, this is one of the reasons I didn't want to put all my panels in already. Should be off the electrical panel. What are you? You go there. I can make this one wider if I move this panel, so that's fine. They're just sitting on the floor, and then I'll have to move my panels around, but it's not a big deal. All right, so let's grab this. This is our electrical panel. And so see, we already have battery. Do we? What panel did I grab? I grabbed the wrong panel. All right. Making a mess of this already. Let's find this electrical panel for real this time. Right here. Okay. All right. All right, so we have our electrical panel come in. We have bat A and B. Those come in. We have all of our gen connections. Trying to think of I might. Okay, so see, I'm doing generators via this, so I can actually change this and make space. So what I'll do is, the way I'm doing this presently is going to change. So instead of Gen 1 and 2 here, these are going to be number outputs, and those will go to the clutches. All right, so that's fine. I can just redo this, and I actually won't need more space. So what I'm going to do is, so I have two switches. That activates my generators, and so they're going to be changed to PIDs, which as is good. Let me set up one PID, and then it'll change. So I'm just going to throw a p-value in of 1 for now, and then I can change it as necessary. And then all of this should go down to the south here because I need battery inputs. So I need so my number 1 turbine is going to control battery A. And my number 2 turbine is going to control bat B. So I actually don't want that there. I want that here. Process variable. And so what's going to go in here is this, I'll do it as another number. For now, it's going to be set point of 1. That is telling us we want 100% battery. And that's going to tell us how much battery we have, and then it's going to charge. So I'm trying to think the best way to do this. All right, so that's going to read battery A. So the generator is only going to go if that battery is in use. So that will actually work for me fine. Let's see, that goes there. So 7 should be the number 1 generator right there. And then that's going to go out to here. And then I tend to like to clamp them. So 0 to 1. I'll just keep any errant numbers out of there. All right, so what's going to happen is it's going to read, it says, I'm telling it, hey, I want 100% battery. So 100% battery is 1. It's going to read how much battery I have. Let's say it's 0.7. So it's going to say, hey, you don't have enough battery. Give me more clutch. It's going to add and add and add more clutch until the battery gets up to 1. As it gets closer to 1, it's going to reduce the clutch. It's going to say, hey, you're getting close to 1, reduce the clutch, until I get up around, 99.99999. And then it's going to do tiny, tiny bit of clutch. So it's going to steal very little of my energy that I want and need from my engine. All right, so that's good. So that's set up. Let's go ahead and copy that. And we're going to do Gen 2. So this 1 number for the p-value might change. It might not, depending on what I need. What it will do is you'll get oscillation, and I can tune it down. So this is going to steal less energy from my turbine, essentially. All right, so let's work with this for right now. All right, and so this should set that up. So let's update that. All right, so now these are backwards, of course. What are you? A, B. Okay, so this whole panel should just be flipped here. There we go. So this actually worked out all right. So now this Gen 2 is going to the clutch. This Gen 1 is going to the clutch. So now, as I need more charge for my batteries, it's going to add more clutch. It's going to steal some energy from my turbine. As I need less, it's going to take it away. So for example, when we're at low RPS, say on the ground, it's going to give us a lot of clutch. It's going to push the plates together. It's going to take more of the energy from the turbine to turn the generator. And that should make sense because we're on the ground. We're not spooled up. And so it's going to try to steal more energy to charge the batteries. When our engine's screaming on takeoff, for example, it only needs a tiny little bit of clutch because our RPS is so high that it doesn't need much for power generation. And this actually worked out really well. I don't need that. So I did screw some things up with my electrical system. So let's find that. What is that? That is... I need to find my relays. Can I label these relays? I can't. See, that's the thing I wish we could do is click on the relays and name them. I can't do that, though. So that is battery A. That is battery... That's master power. So battery... See, what's this? Okay, let me move these around so they're where they should be. So that's battery A. So this here is battery A. And so battery A goes to this battery A relay. Let's look in here, see if I can't move it without causing myself problems. I think I can. So let's move this. So this is going to be cut. All right, and so this is going to go to right above battery A. So battery A and battery A's relay are together and cozy. That way they're where they need, they're touching. So what this allows me to do is, so in real life what you do is you actually often you'll pick either battery A or B, and so on one leg you'll fly on battery A, on another leg you'll fly on battery B, and that kind of segregates them so you're choosing which ones you want to use. All right, so what are you? You are going to... All right, so this one is battery B's relay right here. I'm going to move that. So I'm trying to, I always try to put things in logical places so that they make sense. And so let's move the relays. And so what I was doing is using relays to actually connect the generators. I'm just going to do PID control to connect them now. So where did I put that? Right there? Yep. Okay, so see, this is battery B's power. So that's applying battery B. All right. Yeah, let's see. All right, so that's battery A. Why is this one now off kilter here? Let me look. I'm trying to get them in the same positions here. I don't want this in the way of the landing gear. The landing gear needs to come up here into the well, so I don't want that to be in the way. So right there. Okay, good. There is a rhyme or reason why I do some of these things. I have to think of landing gear. All right, so we have battery A's relay, battery B's relay. We have the master power relay, which does all our power. And then these were generator, I think. So what I should be able to look at these, and they should run from the generators. What is that? Okay, this is ground power right here. So that's ground power connection. So let's actually move this out into the, this will go out into the tail. So what this relay does, again, these relays are enormous. You can hold these relays in your hand in real life, and these are almost a meter long. So that's pretty ridiculous. In real life, they're very tiny. In game, they're huge. And so what the relay is doing is it allows me to close and open it. So when I want ground power, I press a button, it closes the relay. So I can plug a plug in, but until I flip the switch, I don't get any of the power through. So now that's in there. Okay, so now keep looking for relays here. So that is, I might have gotten rid of those relays. I'm not sure. I don't think I did, but maybe I did. Okay, let's see where these generators are going to. So the generator is going to a relay. Okay, what do you? Okay, so I think I got rid of those generator relays. So what we have now is so I want to disconnect this and put it somewhere else. So now what's going to happen is our electrical generator. So this small generator here is now going to go directly to battery A. Okay, that goes directly to battery A. And I shut it off via the PID. So if I don't want that generator on, it will go to the PID. Now, some of this in game is kind of silly. It doesn't really do anything, but it's something that I want for realism, and I like to set my systems up realistically. All right, good. So the battery goes to the relay. This one here is the hot bus. So this battery B actually controls things like doors that always need to be powered. And then I can close it, and it can go to the master. This one goes here. What are you going to right now? Okay, why you're controlling lighting, that should go to B. That's incorrect, so that's good. So I'm keeping my battery A. My battery A only connects when I connect it. And so the reason is battery B, that runs things like doors and lights and stuff. So let's say if I get a light, it will only kill battery B. And so that way, let's say that I kill battery B because I left a bunch of lights on. Well, I still have battery A should be at 100% charge. And so that way I can click over to battery A and start my engines and make electricity. So that gives me kind of like a backup. So in case I actually run all my stuff down, it only kills one of your batteries. So that's logical in how things really happen. And so let's see, generator, so that goes there. Okay, so I think we're all set. Generator. Let's make sure, again, the clutches are connected. Let's check the clutch power. Make sure they're plugged in. They are. Okay, good. So now let's put this panel back. So that actually worked out all right. So a lot of this seems like overkill and, you know, a little bit picky, but, you know, if you set your systems up realistically, you know, I talk about this a lot, and, you know, people will say, oh, it's a game, it doesn't need to be realistic, and I agree. But the thing is, there's a reason why we do things in a certain way in life. And a lot of it's because it's been, you know, thousands and thousands of hours of people working to figure out what is the best way to do something. And that's why we do it that way. And so if you do it that way in game, it often works out because that just happens to be the best way to do it, you know? And so that's why I tend to do that. So I have a painting thing here. I'm thinking I'm going to change the, I don't like the control surface being this yellow. I'm thinking of going like this. Maybe go one more like that. I don't know. I'll leave it, I guess. All right. All right, so that fixed my generator. Also made my engines my turbines look a little less wonky. So let's save that. So that was on my to-do list. Let's go ahead and do a quick test flight. And so it's working pretty well. Do a walk around here. Looking pretty good all around. Ground services panel here. So that's, you know, when you connect your ground power, that's what the relay was all about. All right, so let's jump in. Okay, there's one other thing I wanted to do. I need to cut some stuff off the dash too. Okay, and so one of the things I did with that is if I look at my landing gear, let's find where that is. So I need gear doors, and I need to find where they're connected to. So it's one reason I like them in the wing. It's just easier for me to find stuff. I find. Let me see gear. Okay, gear. So right here, I need to change a value. So for these doors, if they're between that and this, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And so my gear doors are staying open sometime, and so this should help it. I'm having to do it with a distance sensor because generally I'll use the large pivot because it reports its position, and I can't do that with a small pivot, so if I end up with small pivots, I'll use a distance sensor to do that. So let's jump in. I've decided I want no door to the cockpit. We'll do master power. All right, we will do battery A. All right, we'll do battery B as well, just because we need to. If you notice, battery B is dropping electricity. Battery A is as well because the systems are connected. Let's go ahead and we will go fuel cutoff for number 1 is on. Starter. We're gonna watch our number. This is our RPM, but we can watch our. Yeah, we have to watch the RPM on this one. Okay. So what I was doing is it didn't give us full clutch on the propeller until the turbine spun up enough, essentially. So once the turbine, like you notice, see it's not spinning. That's how it happens in real life. The turbine is spinning, but until it kicks off, you'll see that's actually how they start some of these turboprops. I'm just going to enter in some flight information. So 078's runway heading up to 5,000 feet. Still should probably change the PID on the autopilot. All right, so our turbines are up and running. So now we can, you see we're losing electricity. Let's click on generator 1. Okay, I'm just watching it, seeing how it's functioning with this. Let's click on generator 2. And so just kind of seeing how they're doing. I should have put a read in here to read the actual. Let's do that while I'm at it. All right, let's do some dials. All right, so we'll do 2 dials, and this is just going to read what it's sending the clutch, and this is going to tell me what my p-value needs to be, and I'll put in a keypad for p-value changes. So this is kind of if you see these all over my plane, this is generally testing phase. All right, so we'll do electricity like that, and then there. All right, so I'm going to read the clutch from that. So Gen 1 clutch and Gen 2 clutch. And then what I'm actually going to do is, I can't suck this out of the floor without causing problems here. That's too bad. This is an issue because, let me see. Yeah, see, I don't have space. What to do. Master powered, bat A, B, and ground power. Okay, good. So, all right, so I'm going to have to do this. Let's pull this out of the floor again. Let's cut this. Let's put it up on the roof here. Come on, behave yourself there, camera. All right. Merge that there, and then I just need a grow it one to put a controller for the p-value. So this is going to be p gen. Okay, so that's the p-value for the generator. If I come here now, instead of running this at a 1, I'm going to allow myself to control it for now with that keypad. And so that's going to allow me to tune my p-value on my generator. All right, so that's plugged in. Those are plugged in. Let's try it now. So now I'm going to see what my clutch is doing. So say, for example, I'm not producing enough electricity, and it's saying doing 0.0001 clutch. Well, that means the p-value is way too low. If it's always at a clutch of 1, I know the p-value is too high. All right. I'm just going to start both of them. Generally wouldn't be your procedure. You'd want to be watching them. I'm not stealing too much electricity, am I? I bet I did. I bet trying to start 2 of them at once, I was stealing too much electricity. So I'll start 1 at a time. That's why another reason you start 1 at a time is so in a like, you know, say in a larger aircraft with an APU, you use, why was my ice on? Okay, that shouldn't be flashing at me. So in a larger aircraft, you tend to have an APU, and that's started via electricity, and then you use air start to start the engines. On some of the smaller aircraft, you just use electricity. Why is that? Did I run out of fuel here? Oh, okay. All right. That's annoying. It's not the electricity, it's the, I made a new save here, and now I'm having issues with the fuel. So what am I doing here? I need to move over to my other save where I have fuel in the bench. That's annoying. Yeah, I made a new testing save, and there's not enough fuel in the bench, so I took all the jet fuel. You don't start with very much jet fuel, so I just load up the other testing world, which I know has enough jet fuel for me to actually do my tests. So. All right, so here we are. Let's go ahead and load it in there. All right, so now we should be in better shape here. Now we have enough fuel to get this to start up. So yeah, so like I was saying, you know, in these smaller ones, you will often use that starter generator to actually start. So master power is on. We select batteries. Should actually select the battery first. Fuel cutoff starter. So it's I think 140 RPM on this because it's accounting for. Maybe it was 40. So why don't you want to turn now? Where's my fuel at? Okay. I know what happened. It was nothing to do with the world. I meant to put this in. I thought about it in my head, and then I forgot. I thought about putting pink blocks into the world as I killed my fuel tank when I pulled that out. I meant to cover it up with these pink blocks, and I forgot to do it. So there we go. So I have no fuel in my tank because of that. So the test world was very fine. Now we have fuel. Okay. Need fuel to start engine. Alright. Fuel. Killing me here. Because I knew I was going to have to do that, and then I got distracted. I distracted myself. Alright, there's light off. Let's light 2. Follow it up. There's light off. Okay, so now we can turn on Gen 1 and 2. Let's go to what we had it as before, 1. And let's look at our... Okay, so see we have 0.03 clutch. So you see it's coming up. It's doing its job. It's raising the... See, it's raising the clutch value, but very, very slowly. So let's see what we would want this to be. So if we go up 10 times... Now it's at 0.42. Now let's look at our electricity. See, we're building electricity. All right. So now it's only at a 0.4 clutch, but we're building electricity. And see how we're building electricity very slowly? That's fine. I have no problem with that. So 10 is more of our number. 1 is not enough. Now, as you'll notice, as I spool up, this should probably go down because we're pretty close to being at 100% battery now. As I spool up my turbines, I'm going to be producing more electricity. And notice the number goes down, right? It doesn't need as much clutch because I'm producing more RPS on the turbine. So see, it's going to go up and then down. So it's going to automatically oscillate that clutch to give me as much generation power as I need. And so that's how I tune the pit. You know, you don't need, doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be, you know, 100% accurate, but you see how it's keeping me, it's pretty close to 100% battery. I don't need 100 all the time. Pretty close is good for me. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's, beacon, nav, strobes, landing taxi. Let's go ahead and let's put in runway heading 078. Let's go ahead and put an altitude 5,000 feet. Okay, next thing, I want to trim. So I'm going to put in a trim value of 0.07. Alright, we used to have to do this in real life. We'd put in a trim setting. Alright, next thing I need my flaps set up. My brakes are actually on. Flap set to 1. I had parking brakes on the whole time. Oh, yeah, as you can tell. That's why I was taxiing funky, was parking brakes were on. This is why we follow checklists. Alright, let's taxi up to the runway. Let's pre-select heading hold, altitude hold. That's going to get us ready for when we rotate. Or when we hit 200 feet, we can put the autopilot on. ITT is inlet turbine temperature. That needs to be changed to be more realistic, and gauge needs to be indexed. Alright, here we go. So you notice we're producing good electricity now, even at idle. Alright, a little bit of a wheelbarrow, but not terrible. Positive rate gears coming up. So we're checking the gear doors. Remember, I changed that value to make sure the gear doors shut. Okay, they do now. Sometimes if I really crank it like this, they'll come open. They're not doing it anymore. Good. Okay, so now let's go ahead. Autopilot is on. Alright. And so the P value on the autopilot needs to be changed. That's on my to-do list. Alright, let's go full throttle. Flaps are coming up. Alright, so pit's not terrible. Just probably the climb rate's a little bit high. Alright, so there's 212 knots. So let's look at our clutch here. So it's giving me about around a 0.31 at this RPS in order to maintain battery. As I start to bring the prop back here, I'm going to try to get to my max speed here, so I'm just gently bring the props back. I'm pressing the wrong key. That would help to press the right key. Alright, so I upped gear at the engines, so we're pretty much going to be losing speed from here on, which is fine. So let's go to our maximum efficiency, which is our props at 100% prop pitch. So bring the props back, we'll increase the pitch. That's causing load on the engines, which is slowing down the turbine. The turbine can't, you know, hammer as hard if it's, you know, if the, you know, essentially it's trying to do more work. So it's like you know, if you were if you were running with a 1 pound weight in your hand, you'd be able to run at a certain speed. Now try to run with a 10 pound weight in your hands. Now try to run with a 100 pound weight in your hands. You're doing more work, but you have to do it slower because you just don't have the energy to do it. All right, so our clutch is auto changing there. See, it's continually oscillating to maintain our charge. Now I don't care that it doesn't go above 0.96. That doesn't bother me at all. You know, we still have 96% battery. That's perfectly fine. But notice how it's moving. What's that? 1, 2, 3. Essentially 5 digits. That's how precise the pit is. It's moving 5 digits of clutch to maintain it. We're only at a clutch setting of 0.31, so it's not stealing a ton of power from our engine. Check my fuel burn here. Alright, so that's prop RPM there. Alright, good. So that's working well. That's now working. So 10 is my value. Let's write down 10. I'll play with this a little bit, but I'm going to put 10 in there to start with. I have no problem with 10, so I don't really need to screw with it. It's doing exactly what I asked of it, so there's no reason. Like, if I made it the number a little larger, I'd probably get to 100%, but I don't need it on 100% load, so let's like try 11. So you notice the clutch value went up, and now we're getting closer to 100%. Let's go to 12. And that should go up again. Notice it is now increased probably a little bit. Let's go to 15. That's 50% more. Now see that went up quite a bit, but it's also taken itself down. It doesn't really, as it approaches 1, it's dropping it off. It doesn't need to be all that high. So I kind of like 10. Let's stay at 10. I don't want it to steal any more power. It's actually not really taking any power. I think we're doing all right. Let's get it to closer to 100. You notice we're not losing speed. So if we're not losing speed, we're not losing power. We're staying at 132. So let's keep going up. Let's go to 20 just for giggles here. So you notice that number goes up. Yeah, we're closer here. Okay, good. Let's go to 30. Number went up again. Now you see we're coming up on, so we're within, you know, essentially 2% of max batteries. If you look up here, these are in percentages. So we're at 98.9% battery. So that's working for me. You know, I don't need it on 100% battery the whole time. Let's try to get there anyway. Let's do 40. I just don't want to waste any. So as long as it's just under 100% battery, I think we're good. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's go with that number. Let's go with 40. 40. Alright, so 40 is going to be our new p-value on that. But notice we're keeping 99 point something. That's good. I don't want it at 100% because that could mean we're wasting. This here tells me we're not wasting any because we're just under 100%. And you notice back down to around 0.31 because 0.31 happens to be how much electricity we're using now. So 0.31 clutch gives us as much electricity as we are using. So now let's cut off some lights. Ah, come on. There are lights. So in theory, this should go down a little bit because, you know, a very little bit. You know, probably other things are using more electricity than this, but that should go down a little bit because now we're producing less, we're utilizing less electricity. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's turn ourselves back to the airport. Okay, so just going through testing different systems. One of the reasons I like doing little flights is doing these little flights gives us a, you know, if any problems pop up, we see that. All right, so I'm liking the layout of the cockpit. This still needs to be filled in. That's nothing at the moment. I don't know why the ice was coming on. So the ice warning is supposed to come on if we're below, I think, 10 degrees Celsius, something like that. And then what will happen is I'll just kick on the de-icing boots, which are simulated. You know, that's the black on the wing tips, on the wing leading edge. What they do is they're inflatable boots, and so they inflate and they break the ice off. So the ice forms on the wings, on the leading edge of the wing, and you get an ice warning. You turn those on, and they cycle, and they open and close, and they remove the ice. And then when you're done, when you don't detect the ice anymore, you shut them off on boots. Generally on a lot of jets, you'll have hot wings, and so you'll see the leading edge of the wing is silver, and that tends to be some sort of, you know, stainless type of metal, and it passes hot bleed air off of the engine into that area to keep that metal hot, and that's why it's not painted. And so it keeps that area hot, and then if any, you know, cold water that would insta-freeze, you know, it won't freeze till it makes contact. Or if you had snow or, you know, freezing rain, or the most dangerous now is, what is it, super cool drizzle drops is like the most dangerous type. If those hit the wing, they'll instantly freeze. Well, if it hits a hot wing that's hundreds of degrees, well, it will just, you know, vaporize, essentially. You don't have to worry about it. I'd like to get the fuel efficiency up, but I'm not sure how I can, you know, without killing the speed. Like, we went a good distance, and there's kind of compression in the game. We went a good distance here. This is mostly going to be hopping around here. This holds about 8,000 pounds. Put that into perspective. The jet holds about 30,000 pounds. This should be much more fuel efficient. You know, we're not cruising at high speeds, which I don't want it to. You know, we're at high efficiency. We can do about 212 knots. I kind of went efficiency mode on this. I increased the gear ratios on the engine gearboxes so that I would cut down on the fuel burn. So put more load to the engine and reduce the RPS. Reduce RPS, you get more fuel efficiency, essentially. Yeah, I could probably cheat it by slipping the clutch, which are really a lot of what you're doing when you're slipping the clutch is you're essentially doing a custom gear ratio. You know, people talk about they can get more efficiency with a slipping clutch. There is some glitch in there as well, but you're also changing your gear ratio essentially. Let's actually go up in here. We'll do a landing. All right, it's banking nicely. So my banking system is in. The auto rudders. You know, you'd have yaw dampers in these types of aircraft. Twin engine airplanes, you rarely need to do. You really rarely need to do much rudder. Multi-engine, let's put it that way. All right, so I'm gonna kind of write out a to-do list here. So that. All right, so it's kind of a to-do list here. You notice my gear position is not showing, so I need to fix that. Did I make one for the turboprop? Let me see. I did not. So let's make a new one for the turboprop. I'll come up with a brand for these and everything else, but let's see. So put in some of the cockpit stuff I need in here. Alright, so I need gear position. Alright, so gear position will go right there. ITT needs indexing. Alright, so one thought I have is, so all this is showing is where my throttles are, which is kind of what I want, but I'm not sure if that's 100% of what I want. So essentially what this is doing is, so my max power, or my max RPS setting is 30 on this airplane. How far are we? Go down to, I didn't see how far we were. We're 3 minutes out, so let's go down to 1,000 feet. So that's the p-value is still a little high in the autopilot. You see how it's jerky, but I have to do excessive descent rates. You never do a descent rate like this in this type of airplane. You see the deck angle. The reason I'm doing that is because the distances are so short in Stormworks. I want to be able to get up to realistic altitude, so I overdo that. So the p-value needs to be knocked down in the autopilot. But so the ITT needs. So anyways, the way this works is, so I have a maximum RPS set on my turbines of 30 on this plane. And so essentially I'm just multiplying them by 3. That's why it's 99.9% power. And so I know that I'm at 30 set, but I don't know what I'm actually at. This RPM here is reading, I forget what that's reading, I have to check it. I think I'm doing it off of gear ratios, which is now wrong because I changed my gear ratio, so I have to check that. That gives me some indication of what my actual engine turn is, so I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. Because you'd still set your power at 100%. Because I don't have a physical throttle I can look at, I have these throttle gauges, these throttle buttons here. I need to be able to read that. So I think I'm going to keep this the same. I just need to kind of figure out this one in my head so I know where I'm at. Check fuel. I need to index the fuel gauge. Alright, index the fuel gauge. I didn't do an anti-ice testing. We'll do that when we fly up north. But see, the battery is holding steady at 99.2. That's good. If I kick a generator, see what that does. So it should have shut off the generator on the number 2 engine. Alright, so let's get set for landing here. So I want to start bringing my power back. So you notice bringing my power back's not doing anything because it's never getting to that RPS anyway. So I might do it as actual RPS. That actually gives me more information. So I'm actually only getting 15% power. Now as I bring my props forward. Okay, I had this problem before and this is an issue. So I'm trying to bring my props forward and I can't. I'm pushing forward on my propellers and it's doing nothing. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm pushing 1 to try to change my pitch of my propellers. It's not doing, so that is not good. Oh, they look good. I don't know, they look. Okay, that's fine. It was just because I was at low power setting. All right, that's fine. So I'll try to decide how I want to do this. So let's shut the autopilot off. We're only 2 kilometers away. This is the terrible side of this mountain that doesn't make any sense. So we have to go, or this airport, we have to fly over a mountain. You know, somebody was talking about they might have done it for RP reasons. I doubt it for them. You know, they just don't have much aviation experience. I would say, you know, and if you're going to do that, do it with one of the small airports like Draymoor. Would be cool to have like in-mountain airport. You know, there are some on the islands that are like that. All right, landing gear's coming down, flaps are coming down. I need to actually do this procedure here. I'm not gonna, I'll do lights here. And I need to, all right, so props need to come. I think props are all the way forward at this point. So I actually want to see this mountain. I should already be in that mountain is where the appropriate pitch angle is. So like I'm having to do like a 10-degree glide slope here. I should be on a 3-degree glide slope. So I'm going to pitch down like 3 times the amount. There we go. I just barely saved it. That would have been a go around. See, that's the craziness that I'd have to do to make this work. So I'm just tapping the brakes here. All right, nice. Clean up the airplane. All right, so it's functioning pretty well. This should be able to get into the series pretty soon here. We have lighting in here is working. Oh, the backlights aren't working. All right, so I need to check those. Let's do that. Put a note in for cabin lighting. I bet it's an electrical that I broke. Not a huge fan of these lights because I already have, I don't know, they're not terrible, but I don't have a ton of headspace in this aircraft, and I kind of like to do it with paintable indicators, but I have to hide them in the floor, and then I'm probably not going to get the right light blooms, so I might just stick with these. Try to see what else I need. ITK's in there, index fuel gauges, gear position. That's working well now. Okay, I need put autopilot. Autopilot index, or autopilot, let me just click. See, autopilot I need to, let's see, refine p-value. Okay, refine p-value. So this plane's coming along, and I'm hoping, you know, it should be able to get into the cap air. And so, you know, what I want this plane, let me shut down my turbines here. All right, so what I want for this, so one of the reasons I made this plane was, you know, as soon as I started cap air, I was like, oh crap, I need a smaller plane that's a little bit more fuel efficient. So I need to be able to dart around these smaller areas. And oh, I need to put on a keep active block too. All right, and so what I need to do is I need to be able to dart around these different airports. Some of the smaller ones, like I don't want to take the big jet into Dremore. So like say I need to go from Harrison to Dremore. I don't want to hop the jet. I would rather keep the jet for like say Dremore to here maybe at the closest, and then more like from here to the Arctic. That's going to be my Arctic runner. I really, really wish they had put this island down here where it belongs. You know, I think they're, you know, the devs are trying to split their attentions to the different communities, and I can appreciate that, but you know, and I know you have a lot of people who want things super close, but you did have people complaining, oh my God, the volcanic islands are so far away. And it's like, dude, it literally takes you like 5 to 10 minutes to go this distance in a boat, you know, and people are complaining about the distance. So they're trying to cater to that audience, which I agree with. You know, you have to cater to the different audiences for your game. But this is super close, and people were complaining that was too far away. There were a bunch of Reddit posts, like literally, there would be this island would be like right here, and people, oh, I found the coolest seat. It's right there, dude. This is like the distance from here to here is incredibly short, and they were thrilled when it was like right here. And I found the coolest seed. There was an island right like this one here. This one, like this is why I didn't use this for cap air is like look at how ridiculously close this is, and people were thrilled that it was that close. And it's like so there is that audience that likes that, and so the game should work for different, like look at that. That's ridiculous. Okay. But if you want that, great. You know, and I don't like to poo poo, and I don't think anyone what people like is stupid at all. But I don't personally like this. It's not realistic. You never have a runway right at the end of a mountain. Um, so what I wish they would do is let us custom move islands on the like let us have a map editor. Let's put it that way. The community would love a map editor. People who want everything super close and want to be able to use let's say they have a large ship and they like to use it and they only can play an hour a week, right? It makes it hard to you can't do, a ship from here to the Arctic, but they could put the Arctic right here if they wanted to, and they could enjoy using their big ship. So that audience could be happy. For me, I would like the Arctic to be like 3 times away, farther north. I would like this one to be an equidistant down here. I'd like to be at least a couple hundred nautical miles. I would like all these tiny little bases that are right smack next to everything. I would like them out here. So give us a map editor where we can move things where we want them. So I can say, okay, I want military base, and I click it here and move military base and put it right there. And so now, if I want to go to the military base, I actually have to fly for a little bit, or have to take my ship for a little bit. And so even for me, I might have a save where I do a lot of ship stuff and stuff is reasonably close. And then for if I'm doing like cap air where things are far flung, I'd have them further away. But this is just, it's silly how close this is. It's like literally, I don't know if I can see the mainland, but it's probably not far from me seeing the mainland. Like, what's the distance from this, like, this is insanity how close that is. That is 400 meters from the shore. And people are thrilled on Reddit when that happens, and that's great for them. But for me, like, I want some distant stuff. Like, let's see how far the mainland is. So let's put a waypoint there. So from there, the mainland that is 6 miles. So from here to here is 6 miles. That's it. So like the people complain and that, yeah, like my, what is it, Triton goes 18 knots. So that would take 20 minutes to go from here to here. And people are complaining about that. I get it. If you don't have a lot of game time, yeah, 20 minutes is a long time if you only can game an hour a week, but for those of us who want the distances, give us a map editor where we can move things where we want them. Put the volcanic islands way the hell over here. Put this one down here. Put this one 3 times further away. Move these islands like, there's no point in all this. What am I doing out in the ocean here? Nothing. But if the military base was over here, it would give me a reason to fly over there. And if this base was over here, and the bases that I hate, like I don't like this base, I can just, throw it way the hell away where I'm never going to see it again. And it probably help with performance too. You're trying to render things that are really super close. Let me move them around. By the time I leave Sawyer Islands, if this is all the way down here, it would be literally rendering nothing out here. And then as I get close to arid biome, it would render it, and everything else would be de-rendered. It would probably save on that. But end of rant. I think we'll continue. So I'm going to continue working on this plane. And so next time you see this, it'll probably be in cap air. It's very close, just a little bit of this and that. So people have been showing some interest in actually seeing the building of it. And so I will see you guys later. Bye. All right, thank you everybody for watching, and you should be able to see this new turboprop in the Cap Air series. See you there.